everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hi.
Sam Healy, and it's muted.
Alrighty. Well, welcome back. We skipped a couple days of doing live stuff, but we're back. We're doing two things today: board game breakfast, and then later on, crowd surfing at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then tomorrow, back talk. And then next week, more. But yeah, there's a lot. Let's start at board game breakfast.
Let's do this
Are
one
you
first.
awake? I'm awake.
I'm good, man. I'm ready to go. I'm rested. I feel youthful. Let's hit it.
Say what?
You can get over that feeling.
Youthful?
All right, let's get to the news.
I'm tired.
Alrighty, not as much news this week. I gave you guys all the juicy stuff last week. I hope you.
There was some juicy stuff in there. There was also a lot of sort of numbers talk.
I like numbers. That's juicy.
Hasbro is still mega rich. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Newsflash.
So first, we got Scythe as a modular board, and I just realized that I'm doing this incorrectly.
Oh no. There we go.
Oh. Okay.
Why?
Well, yeah, but
What's wrong?
it's not showing it on both screens here. Scythe has a modular board. Anyway, so we actually have the modular board. I haven't really looked at it a whole lot at this point in time. Have you?
No.
You put the map together now, and I mean, are the locations where the armies start still printed on the pieces of map? You don't know? You're not sure?
I haven't actually looked at it that much, so I really do need to get on it.
That sounds cool. I mean, I like the idea of the board being modular, giving you a bunch of replayability. You got it?
Got it fixed.
There we go.
Okay. It's interesting to me, though, the modular board. What's interesting to me is that the sideboard is so tied into you start here and you're next to these things because of your faction powers and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how the modular board will work.
So this is gonna change your starting position then, and it's gonna randomize.
I don't know.
It?
It has four. The map's different on both sides. It has four big double-sided tiles that change the landscape of each game.
So it looks like
even
it's
if
overlays,
faction home
maybe.
base locations can change, so that changes where they are. There's a drafting element to set up, a tighter map at lower player counts. That I like.
I do like that a lot, actually. Okay.
So
Maybe that's what this is good for then, because honestly, Scythe is at 2, just not that tight. I can do my own thing for
3,
a long time. So maybe that's where this is gonna really shine. Okay, good to know that.
yeah, so looking forward to checking this one out, and so we'll talk about it then. All right, next is Dungeon Academy. This is a co-publishing thing from Matago and the OP, formerly USAopoly.
The OP, son.
What's up?
How long are we gonna
recognize?
How long are we gonna say that formerly USAopoly? Like a year?
I think forever.
It's the publisher formerly known as USAopoly.
All right. Anyway,
The OP.
this particular game I've played it. In fact, a review of it's coming up soon. It's a roll and write game where you're basically rolling a bunch of dice, and then you got to draw a path through the dungeon to fight monsters. Did you play this one?
Yes.
You did not, though, right?
I did not. I
You watched
unboxed
us play it.
I unboxed it. I watched you play it.
Did you like it?
You liked it more than I did. I thought it was pretty good. It's puzzly.
I really
it's
liked
pretty
it.
good, but yeah, you really like that sort of pattern building stuff.
I
It
felt
has
like
a grid.
It has a grid. Yeah,
That's the truth
I was
of it.
finding a nice way of saying it has a grid, but yes, it has a grid.
I think it has a stronger theme than a lot of roll and writes.
That's true.
So that part, I also think though that you're definitely going to want to. You'll play better your second time through than your first time.
No question. Yes.
So, all right, this will make Sam happy. Seasons of Inish.
Oh, I was so close to being able to play this at the gathering.
Seasons of Inish.
That was pretty bad.
It's like a really short word.
Anyway, there's an expansion for Inish. It's going to add 5 modules that you can do.
And
Your
a
typical
fifth
expansion.
player, I think.
Yeah, the first module is an extra player.
Okay.
And
Tiles still look like they can hurt you.
Yes.
do you want a 5th player in this game?
I don't think so. It's already kind of long as it is, but some of the modules that they're adding to it actually affect how the game ends. And I don't know all the details about it, but in the original game, you could literally have this almost, not really, but it would seem eternal battle if people kept keeping each other from winning.
Right.
With these modules, that doesn't happen anymore.
Good. They fixed
Yeah,
it.
they got it says the first module is the 5th player. The second module, We Want a King, shortens the game by avoiding
Yes.
multiple ties for victory.
Yes.
Done.
Yeah,
Better.
man, I like that. The third introduces seasonal festivals and climate conditions that will
Boom.
affect the game. Shut up, you don't even believe in that.
Hey, man, that's like
The fourth one adds
evolution
islands,
climate.
and the 5th one adds epic tale cards to add to the epic tale deck.
Where you have to sing, you have to stand up and act, that sort of thing.
So the next one, that would be bad.
Don't listen to
The
it.
Origins Awards nominations have been announced. So here we go.
Okay, what
now,
do we got?
to clarify a couple things, the Origins Awards nominations go from, I think, like November to November.
Okay.
So anyway, Brass Birmingham, Chronicles of Crime, Cryptid, Everdell, Gizmos, Pulsar 2849, Rising Sun, Root, and Space Base.
It's a lot of good stuff.
My only
Yeah.
question here is it seems a little odd to me that they said Space Base is a board game.
Yeah.
Especially since, jumping into card games, they said that Villainous is a card game. When they are literally like the same kind of thing. You're
Sure.
putting cards on boards.
You're right. You're right.
Villainous would actually lean more towards a board game than a card game.
They're both definitely card games, yeah. That one does seem a little off. What else they got in there?
Oh, for card games? Oh, well, this one's not quite as... The board game one, I'm like, yeah, good
well,
games.
it's
Here
good
we go,
stuff,
card
yeah.
games. Anatomy Flux, Choose Your Own Adventure, House of Danger, Dark Souls, the card game, which I'm not sure anyone's played, Get the MacGuffin, Maiden's Quest from WizKids, The Mind, and Villainous.
All right.
Collectible card games, they put Keyforge in collectible card games. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's a collectible deck game, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's the same thing.
I think it will win that category.
There's what else is possibly in
Well,
there?
no, because you go up against weird things like expansions around here. Like, for example, a Lightseekers expansion, Magic the Gathering Dominaria booster pack, Pokemon Forbidden Light booster, Star Wars Destiny. I don't know. That's a
Yeah,
weird.
it's
That's such a
gonna
weird
win.
category.
Of course it's going to win. It's a whole new game, one that's very popular. Versus like the latest booster packs for something, yes.
Now, here's the thing. I think that the board game category and the card game category, they are what they are. Here's the family game category.
Hit it.
We got The Climbers from Capstone Games. We got Echidna Shuffle from Watsopalag, The Mansky Caper from Calliope Games, Pantone from Cryptozoic, Spy Club from Renegade Game Studios, Strawberry Ninja from Golden Bell, Super Kitty Bug Slap from Steve Jackson, a T-Dragon Society card game from Renegade, and When I Dream from Asmodee.
Strawberry Ninja from where?
Golden Bell Studios, but that Strawberry Ninja is from
Strawberry
NSKN
Ninjas.
slash
Yeah, that's Strawberry
from
Studios.
Strawberry Studios. Well, whatever. I'm just writing what they said here on
Yeah.
their own webpage. Now, some of these games are fine games. I like When I Dream a lot. I like Pantone. They're both great party games. It just feels like they didn't play a lot of the family games that came out
Right.
last year.
I don't know. Maybe they're what is a family game? Is it more like leaning towards a party game for them?
Maybe, but
It just seems like really, really light board and card games.
they have different committees for each of these ones. And so if there's they'll say, okay, this game belongs in ours, and someone will say, wait a minute, that's mine, that should be in our category.
Got it, okay.
So it's possible that some family games, like for example, is Space Base a family game? I feel like it is.
Yeah, I would.
You know?
Depends how light they're thinking about family here. Because I mean,
But what about
when
Choose Your Own Adventure? That's definitely very light, but it's in card game category, not family.
You're right.
Well, I would argue very strongly that it's a family game. It's just a weird category.
Sure.
Could it be both?
Yet not, no, it can't be.
It can't.
I remember this because when I was on one of the committees, which I'm not any longer, when I was on one committee, like for example, when Mage Wars came out, I was like, what category? Is this miniatures? Is it card or is it board? I remember that we had this discussion as to which category it went into, but it can only be in one.
Huh.
Okay.
There's also game accessories, which I don't think anything here we care
Dice.
about.
Possibly
Squig Dice
cards.
from Games Workshop.
Squiggly dice?
Squig Dice.
Squig
I don't
dice.
know what that is.
Is that the orc unit, the squigs?
Yeah.
I guess there's special dice for them.
You don't know.
Anyway, that's the Origins Awards. Hey, at least the Origins Awards are, we're not like talking about them seriously as opposed to
Those are
years
good.
ago
Those
where
are
we make
pretty
fun.
good picks. That's,
I thought the family game thing is but the other two are
board
fine.
game category especially is a solid.
Yeah.
It's a solid group of games.
All right. Democker is coming back.
Yeah.
So this is Spielworks. They're one of the few companies that they basically make the heavier Euro games. And so it makes sense that they'll make Democker. And Z thinks the board for this looks amazing. You were looking at it.
Yeah, it's a circle
did.
now. I remember back then it used to be like all the rectangles, which
Well,
I just found out about 20 minutes ago. Now I'm pawning off.
I like how you're telling me this
Remember that?
information.
Remember that? Back when we played. Rectangles.
All right, moving on. Eternal Chronicles of the Throne. This is coming from Renegade Games. Now, apparently, this is from the same folks who made Clank Deck Building Adventure, and they just made that Game of Thrones games that we played recently. Dire Wolf Digital Studios.
Yeah.
This is based on a app, I think. There's some online thing called Eternal, but it's not the same thing. It's just it's like using the same IP. I don't know a lot about it, but it's another deck building game where you
Okay.
fight some other people. The card design's pretty clean.
It's all yes.
No, it's clean. It doesn't look like a 90s CCG like you say a lot.
It's clean, sure.
It might be good.
Passive
It
aggressive.
might be amazing. It might be the best game ever, but it looks like every other game ever.
And
And that title is doing it zero favors. Eternal something of the Thrones? What?
Sure, but if it's
Come
based
on.
on a property already existing, then they have to call it that title.
They do. I get
Artwork
it.
looks really good,
maybe
though.
it'll sell a bunch of money because again, it's based on an IP people know.
All right, here's some pretty big news. Origins Game Fair. You can now go to Board Game Geek and pre-order games at the Origins Fair from publishers who are working with Board Game Geek.
Okay.
So the way this works, Board Game Geek facilitates you pre-ordering these games. You then go around to the booths at your leisure and pick up the games.
Got it.
Board Game Geek gets 5% of the cut for doing this because they're setting it up. And I think this is interesting, not because of Origins, because there's like 4 games that people run for at Origins. But for Gen Con and Essen, this is going to change how those cons work.
They're going to do it for both of those as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they said at Essen, some publishers like this idea because they will have to deal with, because Essen is a cash convention for the most part, not a lot of credit cards there. And so if people pay ahead of time, that's less cash at the booths. And as you remember from previous years, or last year especially, there's robberies happening everywhere. And so if it's not happening ahead of time, will this change people running into Gen Con?
No. I mean, there's like
Not everybody's-
100,000 people there. No, it's not going to change that.
What does IIRC mean?
If I recall correctly.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to finish the sentence. If I recall correctly, it means...
It means, okay, Yoda finished that sentence for you. Thank you.
That's like when I said that joke,
just-
like,
I
what's
asked
IKN
because,
mean? I don't know.
Peter-
Well, then why am I bother asking you?
Peter Fulford says, Democker, talk about hardcore old school. Think 6 hours plus to play.
No,
if
it
I
does
remember
not.
correctly.
I
I don't know. I've seen some people playing it at the gathering. They're there all day.
It's about 4 hours. That's still pretty long.
That's okay.
Yeah, okay. I think though that this Board Game Geek thing is a pretty big deal. I think I think Origins is they're like test running it there. Plan B Games has new games out at Origins each year, and a few other companies do. But at Gen Con, that's be a big deal.
Right.
And I wonder if you will run to the booth and they'll be like, well, we already sold them. I don't know.
Right,
You know?
pre-orders, yeah. Pre-orders could do that.
Yeah, that's the
depending on
problem.
the size of the publisher.
I think it might change it in an interesting, maybe a way they're not expecting, which is, are they going to show up there basically? And I mean, if something really pre-sells very well, that means why? Like, eventually, the question comes into it as to why you're there.
Well, did I put this in the news last week about the pop-up Gen Cons?
No.
Oh, well then, extra news. Gen Con has
Where's the
announced.
slide for this?
Shut up. Gen Con has announced pop-up Gen Cons all over, well, in 30 locations. So basically what this is participating stores. So for example, the store that Sam did a video on a couple weeks ago, Millennium Games, is likely one of the stores. They haven't announced it yet, but they quoted the owner of that store. So and when people asked him directly, he was like, well, I was interviewed. Okay, so anyway, so like Millennium Games, these stores will have a few copies of all the hot games at Gen Con, at their store.
During Gen Con.
Yes.
Got it.
Oh. But I thought they would not do that. So this is a like an olive branch from the publishers or something to that effect?
Gen
Because I
Con's
remember
one-
that being a big thing at Origins one year where I can't remember what game it was, but it was a huge game that was just released, and it was supposed to be only the publisher could sell it, and there were some other stores in the exhibitors hall selling that game, and they got kicked.
Woo, I do remember that.
Yeah.
That was an interesting year.
That was something.
But,
So that's going away now. That's not
well,
happening.
no. You can still have exclusivity at a con.
Okay.
These are publishers, and they're saying, okay, we're going to send out a game to the local store. You can go to your local store and buy it. So these are now two things that are changing Gen Con specifically. You no longer have to you don't have to go to Gen Con if your store is going to get these games. Now, granted, there's only 30 stores, a few
They're gonna
copies
have a
each
couple,
store.
yeah, right.
You know, so there's still going to be fights in those stores over who gets those games.
People fighting over games.
But the fact that you can then pre-order, I don't know. I just feel like this is going to change how
I agree.
Gen Con works.
I
Now,
think there's going to be some growing pains there, though.
so I saw some people online going, why am I even going to Gen Con then? And then other people like, well, buying stuff at Gen Con's a tiny sliver of what goes on at Gen Con, which is not true. Don't get me wrong, there's tons of other stuff at Gen Con.
Yeah.
There's True Dungeon, lots of game playing, but don't tell me that exhibitor hall is a tiny sliver of Gen Con, because it is not.
Yeah.
That is easily the most crowded
The
thing at
core.
Gen Con. It is a huge deal of Gen Con, and knowing how much I pay for my booth brings a lot of money to Gen Con, that exhibit hall.
Correct.
However, I do think the new president of Gen Con trying to make these changes, because I think it's cool.
Yeah,
The pop-up
yeah.
Gen Con, if you got one of the local stores, that's awesome. And this thing would be that BGE is doing, good on them.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it changes things. Yeah.
All right. So, Pathfinder adventure card game, a new core set's coming out. So I don't know where, I got the first core set, I got some of the expansions, then I kind of fell by the wayside. But if you've been playing this game, I think this is the fourth core set. I know they did the original one, they did a Pirates one, and I think they did
Egyptian one.
an Egyptian one. And
And then there was another magic one.
how many of them have you played? Just the core one?
2.
Dwarves are so cool.
So this is 5th. But this is not the 5th. This is a reset to the system. This is them reworking it, saying, okay, we're cleaning it up. We are starting again, basically. We're going to do this in sort of a different format. I don't know how much is changing. For what I read about it, all they mentioned was basically, this is a new core set. This is it. And then new expansions, which I think are not just those little packs. So, I don't know. It really depends how much they're changing it up. One of the chief complaints about Pathfinder Adventure Card Game was that those expansions did not change things very much. Especially now that there are so many card games that are story-driven and really have managed to do a lot of story driving in them. So I don't know.
I'm going to make a prediction here. And
Go.
I'm going to predict that at Gen Con or right before Gen Con, they're going to announce Space Finder adventure card game. Or Starfinder, sorry, Starfinder.
Okay.
Who knows? This is just, I don't know. But
How many of them are going to be pre-ordered? Go.
all right, last piece of news for today. You can vote in the DSP, the Deutscher Spielpreis Awards. So the Spiel des Jahres, which is going to be announced really soon, the nominees for that. Those awards are done by a very small jury, like 17 people or whatever. This is like the People's Choice Awards, but mostly gamers vote on these, so you'll see the big, heavy Euro games will win these awards each year. You can go vote in these, and you can win a game if you go vote in this, so check that out.
One thing I think somebody said, Schwinn here in the chats, I believe he's talking about Pathfinder, says it's reverse compatible with everything.
Okay.
So
Well, that's cool. There's a lot of it. I just couldn't keep up with it. It's like any of these living card games things. There's just so
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the news. There's no Kickstarter news today. Glorhound was, there's sickness and stuff, so she wasn't able to make it, but we will do Kickstarter later on today in our crowd surfing segment, and she'll be back next week. But I hear there's war game news.
Hey, it's my birthday. We're going to continue with Lock and Load Publishing, and we're going to see how they support their games. Once in a while, they put out compendiums, like this one here. This is the Modern Era Compendium. This is Volume 2. What's inside this? Well, support for the games in the modern era, extra maps, extra scenarios, designer notes. He goes in detail with certain chits. But, Paul, I don't want the modern era. I want World War II. Well, my little my little Nebelwerfer, they have that too. Compendium Volume 3, the World War II era, 1930 to 1959. This compendium comes with 26 scenarios, and with the 4 games that they suggest to play with, you probably got a gazillion maps and a gazillion scenarios. They throw in 6 maps. But, Paul, the maps are small, my eyes are tired, I can't see. Well, my little burnt toast, in the same compendium, they threw in another 6 X maps, twice the size. There's a scenario in that compendium called The Battle for Monte Cassino. Monte Cassino is the town my mom was from. She was actually there when that battle happened. Pa, did Grandma die? No, my little Nebelwerfer, because if she would have died, you wouldn't have been born. Some Germans were held up in that abbey that was built in the year 914, and they were doing recon, right? They were putting a big hurt on the Allies. So what did the Allies do? They flattened it. See the stuff you learn in war games? So far they have 4 compendiums out. Compendium number 4 deals with the present era. You get 12 maps plus a dozen scenarios. Compendium number 2, again, the modern era with about 26 scenarios. Compendium number 3, that would be the World War II era from 1930 to 1959, including the Korean War. And Compendium Volume 1 comes with all of this. Your regular maps, your X maps, and this humongo map. Like, really? What's going on? That's what I'm talking about when I say support. Let's say you buy a game like this. This is a big game, right? You got years to play with this game. You know what? You have the other 2 compendiums. You have probably another dozen maps and another 50 scenarios. You know, it's the games that keep on giving. You know, this reminds me when I was real young, you know, we'd go see my Uncle Giuseppe at the bakery. You know, he'd walk in, he's happy to see you, and he throws in a cannoli. Lock and Load Publishing. Go to their website, free downloads to all the rules. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.
All right,
I'm playing some more
back
games
to another segment of Player Stereotypes. Now, as you can see up on the screen here, the name of our stereotype is what I have given to, the name that I've given to the stereotype is DeLoreans.
So cars that no one really drove.
No, that's not the case at all. These are those people who always seem to desire to go back in time and redo their turn.
Huh.
Get it? Do you get it?
Get it?
I'm kind of opposed to this kind of player. Well, actually, I think we talked about this as a back talk one time. Mm-hmm. Like, how far do you let... Like, there's people who they'll take their turn, and then they go, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. I meant to do that. Okay, life goes on. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
It's like 4 turns later, like, oh.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was wanting to go. How soon to your turn, or how much time has passed from your turn is almost the determining factor, right? Mm-hmm. If like what I usually do is I try not to take back a turn if the next person has already gone.
But you fail oftentimes.
Sometimes, yes.
Actually, I think it also
tries.
I think it matters how much of the board state has changed.
Right. Yeah.
I don't mind if even like a whole turn or 2 later you say, hey, oh, you know what? This special ability will let me get $3 extra. Fine, take your $3 extra. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't care about that.
But it's when I attack you, I beat you, and then later on you're like, oh, I had extra defensive bonus. We need to re-roll those dice. Oh, no. Oh, no.
No, that ain't going to happen.
You dead.
That's ridiculous.
That dog just ain't going to hunt.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I usually, for me, I think it's more about, the way I look at it is how solitaire multiplayer does the game feel.
Okay.
That's kind of where I come at it from. I don't care actually how far back you go in a game what you're doing does not affect me a whole lot as long as
Less
I didn't
interaction.
draft a card that you needed or something,
Right.
That's done. That's been done. It cannot be changed. But yeah, like you said, you forgot money you should have gotten 5 turns ago. Just take it, whatever. Oh, I forgot to draw a card. Grab it. I don't care. That's more where it's at for me. And then also the reveal of new information.
Yes.
So, if I
That's
need
huge.
to, I forgot I got a coin from this. Yeah, but you also have now drafted a whole new hand. Which means you would have drafted differently if you knew you had 2 more coins. Those 2 things are pretty much where I sort of make that call. But usually, if there is a question, I just fall on the side of being lax about it, because who cares?
Or just open it up to the table. Usually that's what
I'll ask other nerds what their opinions are.
Here's the
I'll
thing.
tell
definitely do.
you what you're doing.
I find it frustrating on a personal level when I'm getting into the game and I'm like, okay, don't pick that action. Oh, good. I'm gonna, and I'm going there, and then the person's like, wait, you know what? I really meant to go here, and it's like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
after I've already put my piece there or something.
Right, but see, at that point, your turn has already begun and theirs has already ended.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's, I think that's a little shady if you do it that way.
Sure, and I've had people say, oh, I forgot to do this, and they do something that doesn't directly affect me, but had I known they were going to do that, I would have played something differently. And again, I'm just like, all right, suck it up, vassal. That's how it goes, but it's still, that irks me a bit, I guess.
I think that bothers you more than me. I don't know how much it bothers you, but I know it really does not bother me at all. Again, I do it just to be fair to what's going on, but I really could care less.
Well, I'm saying I let them do it. I'm just.
Yeah, but it irks you. You're saying it actually irks you.
No, it
doesn't bother
just
me.
Slightly, I guess. I'm not upset. I do get annoyed when someone tries to do something much later, or the one that annoys me, and this is combining it with another gaming stereotype, is the person who doesn't listen, and then later on well, if I had known that 4 turns ago, I would have done that. Well, if you had listened at the beginning of the game, you would have known you could do that.
Yeah.
Because I was very clear that was a thing you could do, so shut up. I can't say all that. I'm like, all right, fine.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't say all that because I think I've heard you say all of that too.
Well, it depends who the player is. If the player's name
Jason's
starts with
not
a
gonna
J.
care, so-
Well, it's just, yeah, I guess. What about when it's a learning game? And maybe not a learning game for you, but it's a learning game for everybody else.
It was a learning game for me, man. That's how I treat all games.
Sure, it's a learning game, and if it's a learning game, then who cares?
Which is where I'm at every game. Every game's a learning game, and so who cares?
What's the same person like, but I would have done that. Yeah, but who cares? We can fix it next
Yeah,
time.
but I also don't care if you change it, because that person really needs to win.
Yes, but sometimes
So who
you can't go
cares?
back in time.
Go ahead.
If you would have done that, then this would have changed.
I'll
and-
stab him later. It's fine. Go ahead and
yeah,
take
but it might
your
not
turn
affect
back.
just you. It might affect
Oh, I mean,
other
if
players.
they catch me, it'll affect my family,
My word.
people, friends,
Why can't we be trolls? All right.
Oh, he can. That's the thing. No,
Not really.
I just think it's one of those things where if everybody's learning the game, that's one thing, and we allow more liberally, I guess you could say, people to take back their turns and redo something else because, oh, I remembered I could do this or whatever. But if everybody is savvy on how to play the game, there's less of that going on. Even when people say, "Oh, I forgot this," suck it up, Buttercup. There's nothing we can do. You've played this game a lot before. You should have.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, not learning game, it doesn't matter. Is what I'm saying is when it takes. Okay, well, what did you do in your turn? Okay, we need to take all these pieces
That's
off.
a
Now you
problem.
got to do
Yeah,
this.
right.
At that point, you need to suck it up. You missed whatever. No big deal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to be mean or because I want to win, but because I don't feel like figuring out what the game state is.
Correct.
Otherwise, you need to take a picture of the game board every minute.
Correct.
So we can reverse and figure out where it was.
We Game Together says, if it negatively affects my turn, then no, I don't want someone basically redoing their turn and vice versa. A lot of context to take into account when wanting a redo, I guess.
It also depends on the person. This is subjective, but if the person says, oh, I forgot to do this, I'm like, oh, okay. If they do that every game, like 4 or 5 times a game, I'm less inclined to allow it.
Mark McNair says, this is pretty hard to quantify, but he feels like if someone is trying to get an advantage, I'm not okay with it. If it doesn't affect anything and it's an honest mistake, then sure, do whatever you want.
It doesn't affect anything.
Well, I think
Those two things
that's
are
an overstatement, yeah. I think
No,
that's
those two things, that doesn't make sense. If they're taking something back, they perceive that thing as an advantage.
However, I will say this, and this is something that I insist on in my games usually, is sometimes it's possible, now this is rare, that the person teaching the game makes a rules mistake. Okay?
No.
So this might happen, and that person may figure it out halfway into the game.
What happens? What happens then?
At that point, you say, okay, well, this is the actual rule. We'll start it on Sam's next turn.
It goes more like this.
Yes, that is correct.
No, but when that happens, I say, okay, it's a learning game. Like,
Let's just keep going
don't forget
here.
you're supposed to draw a card at the beginning of your turn. Oh, we haven't been doing that the whole game? Well, we're not going to say, okay, now everyone draw 5 cards.
No.
It just, whatever, we'll
Correct.
fix it next game.
Yeah. Good
But then
stuff.
there's always someone who'll be like, if we had played the right way, I would have won.
And
well,
you
then-
can play that way next
Then
time.
you imagine you won, you know? We'll
Yeah,
give
yeah,
you the
yeah, right.
imaginary
The
victory.
Schleppo says, I don't mind if it's something like Ticket to Ride and someone forgot to count points for the claim route turns ago. You're doing it wrong. Wait to count all of your routes at the end of the game.
Oh, man, I always do that. I love Ticket to Ride that way. You count during the game?
Yes, he does. He hates that.
Really? Oh, I love waiting to the end. I don't even keep score. Just wait to the end.
No, it's harder. It's easier to miss something, and then you don't know where people are at on the track.
That's
I'm like,
right, secrecy.
No.
That's a different thing. All right, that's the DeLoreans.
The DeLorean.
Now go back and watch it again and see if something changes.
Hey everyone, Steven here from BGW. I know gamers, we have a lot of different accessories and different things that we need to bring a game night, and it can be a hassle to pack all of that and bring it all at once. So I'm going to show you today my solution, which is a tool utility box that I've gotten and I think makes this process a lot easier for us gamers who again bring a lot of things when we play games. So let me show you what I mean. In my Von Haas toolbox, I got this on Amazon, and really any tool utility box would work, but I found this one to be the most cost effective and have a lot of space. So in this top section here, I have a lot of different things that help out with different board games. So I have bit bowls here that hold resources and tons of different components that work for different games. I have whiteboard erasers and whiteboard markers in here to write. I have a D20 in here in case we need dice for anything. And I have these glass resource bowls or different things that hold different tokens. And again, it's kind of nice that they're clear. And all of that fits in this top section. Now, and this snaps together nice. So when you carry it, again, everything stays together perfectly. Now in this clear section here, these tabs pull down, and then you have these different trays that can come out and hold a bunch of different things. So in here I have a lot of different metal coins for different games, and again you can open these up and it keeps them all nice, and even when it's on transport and travel they will all still hold it in there nicely. And basically they have these little dividers that you can put in and separate them based on the number of coins or different resources, whatever you're having in here, to organize them in a nice fashion. Because a lot of these different coins might work for many different games, so you might as well have them accessible rather than just use them for one game. Another thing I like to keep in here are resources for different games at different points. I have a couple pens in here, so basically this is my toolbox that allows different games and different things that I can use. I mean, they're all at my disposal in one easy carrying case. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. Hopefully that gave you an idea of maybe something that you could use. Maybe you want a larger toolbox or smaller one, and one that fits your gaming personality. Until next time, we'll see you. Thanks for watching.
Anna, this is perfect. I'm so happy you didn't bring your 10 games. Now I was able to bring all my stuff. I did bring 10 games. You said I could not do it, but this is 10 games in this little baggie.
Those are not 10 games.
Yes, they are. I will show you.
Well, bring it on.
Hi everyone! Are you done? Hi everyone, Anna and Nora here, and we just returned from holiday, as you could see in the previous short clip that we showed you guys. And I want to share, or we want to share some tips with you guys how you can bring as many games and what kind of games are the best to bring along. Tip 1! Tip 1 is a pretty logical one, because what is it, Nora? The game has to be small, because if you bring a very large game with 100,000 components, the game is 1, not going to survive the trip, probably. And 2, yes, you're not going to have that large of a table, and you're probably not going to be able to play the game. Tip 2. So tip 2 is going to be, don't try to bring along your boxes. Be smart about it and put everything in baggies. Because in this little bag, there are actually 10 games. What? And it is smaller than this box, which only holds 1 game. And the added bonus, of course, is when you're not trying to export your boxes with you, they are not going to break and not survive the immense travel that you're going to do. So those were our tips about taking along games on vacation.
I think we are forgetting one tip we have to share that we learned the hard way.
What are you to?
Water. Anna, let's swim.
But I thought we were gonna play games.
Well, we can play games and swim at the same time.
Nora, are you crazy? You can take my game into the water.
No, it's still okay. Look, I can. So, tip number 3, laminate your games to prevent tears in the paper and in the soul. You want ice cream?
No.
Randy and Ellen, we game together.
It's your turn.
Ooh.
Hi guys, I'm Randy.
I'm Ellen. Welcome to We Game Together. Tonight we're talking about
Not 4, not 3, nor 2, nor 1.
no.
Not even 6. Perfectly nestled between 4 and 6. We have 5-Minute Marvel.
I'm in Marvel. Okay, what are our thoughts on this one?
Fun, I would think, is the best word to describe it. Not a fantastic game. It's not some super thinky game. It's just fun. It is flat out fun.
Yeah. My kids loved it, like a ton. We had a really good time around the table here, and
Yeah.
if there's a game that can bring us as a family together, I am keeping it.
Right.
Because
We don't
our kids-
actually. Yeah. There's not a lot of games that our kids even play, which
not
might be
gamers.
weird to some
Yeah.
people out there. But you know, our kids are not huge gamers, so when we find something that works, it's definitely staying in the collection.
It's gonna stay in the collection. We actually, after we were done playing with them, we played just us two, and we like ramped up everything you could do. We made it as hard as you
maximum
can.
difficulty. Went right to Thanos.
Yeah, went right to the big boy. And I think we ended both games with like 5 cards.
Yeah, like
left
5 to 10
defeat.
cards or so.
Yeah.
So even then, like, it's fairly simple. I
It
mean,
is.
there's some challenge to be had there, and you can increase the difficulty and kind of play with that a little bit. But it's a pretty easy game. I mean, our kids, 6, 8, and 10, they picked it up in a snap. They jumped right in. They didn't use their their cards and their abilities necessary to their fullest effect.
They didn't
but
use
they
the
were
middle.
plenty good enough at it that we were easily defeating level 2 and 3 monsters with or villains with almost 2 minutes to spare sometimes. So definitely on the simpler side of things. We probably would ramp it up pretty quickly just to give a slight bit of challenge.
Yeah, I think there's 2 words I would use to describe it: filler,
Filler fun.
That's it.
And it is super quick to pick up. It goes up to 5 people. It plays pretty decently at 5. I think
it
actually
did.
with a little bit more players, it's a little bit more chaotic. You're kind of talking back and forth.
Which is the fun of the game. It's basically a super dumbed down version of Fuse. I don't know if you've played that, but it's just very fast, and everybody's kind of talking over each other, and you're trying to communicate who's laying what down. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, whatever.
Good overall
I'll
game,
keep
especially
it.
for the price that it's going
it.
for now in the $15, $20-ish range. I mean, I think we got our copy for like $10 or $11.
Yeah.
100% worth that.
Yeah.
Just a good, fun, quick filler game. You can only play one round, or you can play multiple rounds in a row. Really quick to set up and tear down.
That's right.
Photo of the day. This stuff over here. We'll see you next time,
Bye.
guys. Hello.
I love games with 10 things. 10 for 10. My favorite number is 10. So what's this game? What's this game? What? I'm trying to get into the spirit.
Oh, you're the best. All right, everybody. Today, so last time we did movies and how much money they made. This time, here's what I wanted to do.
I pick Endgame to win.
Yeah. What I wanted to do was actually TV shows that have a really some crazy budgets. But as it turns out, they're a little too tight. There were a lot of this is this many million, and so is this one, and so is this one, and so is this one.
Got it.
So instead, we're going to do movies as well for the not how much money they made, how much money they cost to make.
Ooh.
Their budget. However, before I do that, what do you think is the most expensive TV show ever made?
Most expensive TV
Game of
show
Per
Thrones.
episode.
Game of Thrones.
episode ever
Oh,
made.
per episode?
Per
Are we
episode?
including miniseries?
Yeah.
The original Battlestar Galactica? That was pretty expensive. No. I'm going to stick with Game of Thrones. Maybe Westworld. Game of Thrones.
Westworld was on the list. Game of Thrones is it, and this last season, you know how much each episode they're estimating is the cost per episode?
Well, the one that happened at night cost $56, but the other...
Definitely in light bulbs, they spent about 12 cents.
but
About 15 million an episode.
Woo!
Anyway, movies. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We've got X-Men Days of Future Past, Avengers Infinity War, Maleficent, Justice League. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. We've got The Dark Knight Rises, Avatar, and Solo, a Star Wars story. So again, you guys are
Tell
going
me
to
out,
be...
which The Dark Knight Rises, which one is that?
That's
the
the
first
last one.
That's the last one.
So you guys are going to be drafting all these. Again, it's how much they cost to make. These numbers are right. Don't question them. And then we are going to arrange them. So you guys are going to draft 4 each and leave 1 behind, and we all know that equals 10.
Man, if we're going by how much they made, I think I could do a pretty good job, but how much they cost?
All right, who wants to go first? Who wants to draft first?
Go ahead.
I'll take Maleficent.
What do you got, Sam? What are you going to take?
Well, I'm going to
How
go
much they
with
cost?
cost
These are all,
make.
you know.
It better go down to the penny. I better see like 0.36 cents.
And that one coffee on that one day.
I'm just going to go with Solo.
Of course you are. I would
Star
think
Wars.
less of you if you
I'll
had.
go with Avatar.
All right.
That's what I wanted to go.
Then why'd you pick Avatar? Your Star Wars love will
now
be the
you're-
end of you.
Now you're flying solo,
man.
man. Now you're
Because
flying
Solo.
solo.
I'll go Avengers Infinity War.
All right. Tom, what do you got?
I'm going to go by how much it actually costs, not by how much it looked like it cost. So Justice League.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Also, not a lot of light bulbs.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
All right.
Harry Potter.
So
All
Dark
right.
Knight Rises
So
in the
the
middle?
Dark Knight Rises, we're starting with that one. Its budget was $230 million.
I think that was...
That's also the budget of the next Dice Tower.
No, I was about to say I think that's how much Robert Downey Jr. made on one of the Avengers movies.
That would be a lot of money to make on a movie.
Well, I know in the original
It's
one
not
with...
that far off.
I know
Have
in
you
the
read how much
original
he makes?
Avengers with residuals, he made about $50 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What? No wonder he seems so happy these days.
He's okay. He's doing all right. So we're starting with The Dark Knight Rises, a $230
You
million
pick first, so I go
budget.
first.
Yep.
Do it.
230, Dark Knight Rises. Is that the one with
With Bane.
with Bane?
Yes.
You have come this way, and I shall
I was
kick your
born in it. You merely adopted the dark. One of you must stay.
Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince. Which way is higher
Evil.
or lower? Is this higher?
That's higher.
I'm gonna go here.
Like my voice. All right. So you're saying this cost more money.
Yes.
And indeed you are right. The Half-Blood Prince cost an estimated $250 million
Oh wow.
to make.
It's not as much as I would have
All
thought.
right, X-Men Days of Future Past. It's a great movie. There's a lot of special effects in it. I wouldn't say great movie. It's a good movie.
It's based on some sort of book, I understand.
Man, I don't know whether... I'm going to say this one's in between the two.
That is erroneous, my good man.
That was kind of a... All right.
All right, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Is that the third one?
Yes. And I'm going to say...
No, that's like the fourth one.
It's the most recent one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
At
that one.
World's End is the third one.
Okay, that one is, I would guess of the 4, that one was the most expensive. The third one, because there were like a gazillion ships in it, and all those betrayals must have cost money.
All those script rewrites.
That was a social deduction game. Like, who's the traitor?
So wait, this guy
Everyone?
Then,
I am going to say that this is more expensive than... Oh, man. I am going to say it's more expensive.
that's a good call. It's a little more expensive. This one cost $379 million.
Did it make it?
I don't know. I assume it did, but
All right,
that's
I'm
a lot
at
of
Justice League. I'm going to put this one at the very top, because I know they spent a lot of money on it.
That's wrong.
Well, that shows!
Avengers Infinity War.
I know how much it made. Because I just looked it up yesterday. I went to see where Endgame was. It's number 2.
How much it made? It's just under Avatar now, then?
Yep.
So it's past Titanic?
Yep.
Oof.
Sorry,
Coming
James.
for you, blue people!
Sorry,
I think
James
I'm
Cameron.
gonna just keep going up.
I think he's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Keep going up. Even though this is a big gap. That's over 100 and... That's 129 million there.
It is.
I'm still going to put it over here.
That's wrong.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though. That goes to show you how awesome that movie is not more than Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's way better than Stranger Tides. Stranger Tides wasn't a bad movie, but Avatar. I'm putting this one all the way at the top also, even though it might be wrong.
That is wrong. It's too old for that.
Well, I didn't know how much 3D effect budgets cost.
Solo,
that's true.
a Star Wars story. I don't think it was there.
Stuff's like, more money! More money! Balloon the budgets! The budget rises.
My word.
I'm going to put it down here.
Let's see. What do we got up there? That is not correct.
Really?
It's more money than that.
It didn't feel like it cost that much.
It cost quite a bit, actually, yeah.
All right, Maleficent.
Again, all of these have high budgets. That is correct, but not by much. They have an estimated budget on this of $226 million.
That one did not make that much back.
I
it could
think
not
that-
have made. How much
I
of that
don't
was
think
her
it did.
was her salary?
I don't know. I think they probably broke even on that.
Avengers Infinity War in between Harry Potter and Pirates.
That is correct. $316 million.
I'd say they did okay.
They made their money back, from what I understand.
It seems it would appear so.
They're doing okay.
X-Men: Days of Future Past. I don't even remember where I put this one now. The first time, I put it in a big. I thought I put it between those two last time, didn't I? No, I didn't. I put it between those two. I'm gonna stick it here between Harry Potter. He didn't even give me a chance to explain my reasoning. That's wrong.
He told you he was trying to tighten up the segment a little bit. So.
All right,
You're
go
wrong.
ahead.
I'm sorry. You're very wrong with that one. That was highly erroneous.
So Solo, a Star Wars story. Okay, so it wasn't cheapest, although it's not going to be here, and not going to be here. Could. I'm going to put it right here.
Woo! We have a champ!
Oh, yeah?
No, we have a winner. To be the champion, you got to win a lot.
That is $275 million. So what do you got left over there, Tom?
All right. So
Everything, basically.
Justice League, I thought they spent a lot of money on it, but they apparently did not.
They did. They spent $300 million on it.
All right. Avatar had to be expensive.
It was, and for its time, I think the biggest budget ever, which was about $237 million.
Okay. And then X-Men: Days of Future Past, is this the most expensive
That's
one?
the least expensive one.
Really?
At $204.
There's a lot of. So Pirates. What did they spend the money on in
I don't
this
know,
movie?
but it was.
Cast. Dude, there's so many big name actors in that show.
That's true. That's true.
That's
but
what I was going on all of these.
This was.
I didn't care about special effects at all.
This was the most. This was the biggest budget I could find online.
What about Endgame? Was Endgame bigger than this or no?
It was not. It was more than this one. It was, I think, 350, 340 something.
Well, all I
350.
can say is that it's.
You see
not
the money
as
on the
good as-
screen. I mean, the money is in every droplet of water.
All right,
It's
well, that's
filled with gold.
that's the.
All right, there we go.
Let's jump back. Soon, here they come.
They will show up.
Hey guys, Joe here. I want to talk about a game that comes in a small box but provides big fun. I'm talking about this game right here, Skull. So I was first introduced to this game at the Dice Tower Retreat, and I've heard about the game in the past. It just never came across the table, or nobody that I knew had it. So at the Dice Tower Retreat, when all was said and done, we packed away the library. This was Sunday night. A friend of mine brought it out. A friend of mine that I just met at the Dice Tower Retreat brought the game out, and we had 6 people still remaining from the retreat. We were staying, at the hotel, and so they brought this out, and let me tell you, this was one of the highlights of the retreat. It actually took place after hours, after the retreat closed down, but it was actually one of the highlights of the retreat for me. The turns were fun. A lot of the things that was said around the table in terms of bluffing and so on were hilarious. Games like this are a joy. A lot of the time it's these small games, these small filler games that you could be at a bar or a party or convention, what have you, and you break out these games. You either have them in your backpack or something, and you break them out, and man, do they provide a ton of fun. So like I said, at the retreat, we had 6 of us play, and that's the total amount of players that you could play in the game. I believe that if you combine sets, you could go up to more players. I think I read that somewhere, but if you just have one copy of the game, it plays up to 6 players, and that's what we had. And just the amount of one-liners or the bluffing aspect of the game makes this game a ton of fun. And again, the people I played with, I met for the first time at the retreat. So just getting to hang out with them for a few hours, playing a bluffing game, a push your luck style game, was a blast. That's another reason why I want to plug the Dice Tower Retreat. It's an awesome experience. I got to meet a lot of people, play a bunch of different games, got to play with strangers that are now I consider friends. Awesome experience at Dice Tower Retreat. So if you have an opportunity to go, I highly recommend it. Again, if you're at a party setting or, I actually brought this game out at work and it was a blast. Everybody loved it. So if you're in that kind of setting, definitely recommend this game. It is a blast. You can play for hours. Coworkers just wanted to keep on going with this game. So again, I highly, highly recommend it. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. If you want to know more about Skull, you can check out my YouTube channel. You could visit me on all the various social media. And until next time, enjoy your day.
Hi everybody, and welcome to The Cut. This is Martin. Today we feature the top 3 free print and play worker placement games. You're in The Cut, and The Cut starts now. First up is Grease Monkey Garage by Fedor Sosnin. In this family weight game, 1 to 5 players take the role of shift managers at a busy auto repair shop. You place workers to take actions and compete for limited resources such as parts, tires, oil, and tools. Now, the auto shop manager with the highest reputation score after 6 rounds, or when the last card is drawn from the vehicle deck, wins the game. Next up is a game that we've talked about on the show before, Maquis by Jake Staines. Now, while many worker placement games can feel like the theme is pasted on, that's certainly not true for this highly thematic game. You take the role of resistance fighters moving stealthily about town, performing clandestine operations. But watch out! Police and military patrols are constantly on your trail, and they will arrest you or worse if you don't place your workers strategically. And the top free print and play worker placement game is Mintworks by Justin Blaski. In this game, 1 to 4 players are competing for limited placement spots on the modular game board to acquire plans and construct buildings in their area. Buildings can either provide victory stars on their own or help you build an engine that makes your construction jobs faster and more efficient. There you have it. the top 3 worker placement games that are free for you to print and play right now. That's all for now. This has been Martin, and we'll see you next time on The Cut.
It's time for a quick board game review with Charlie. Today, I'm going to be looking at Odin's Raven, a mythical race game for 2 players. Really fun game, really quick, really easy. Wait, what? Charlie, gaming's what he do. It's time for his favorite segment, Charlie's Quick Review. Yeah. This game's about 2 ravens who want to race. This box is super cool. Really tiny, easy, compact, looks like a book. Open it up. Smells like a book. Here's the game setup. 2 crows, 16 cards. They go around, come back around, and go to here. That's the game. Super fast! Here's the raven. Here's the cards. Here's these special ability cards you could use. This is where the strategy comes into the game. You have low-key cards which can mess with the game itself. Here you can bring one down, flip something around. So instead of like this, you can switch it to this. These make it so you can mess with the game. And this is the only strategy part of the game. Don't get me wrong, this is a really fun game. I like it. But there's no fun Norse god things. Norse god not included. And it's just 2 crows flying. A good game to play. There's just not much to it. I got this new game idea. Hear me out now. Okay. We're gonna take Norse gods. Okay. Vikings? Yes. Yeah. Right? Viking. Ooh, exciting. Battle? Okay. The setting. The entire Earth. Okay. Keep it coming. Here's what we're gonna have them do. Battling? Okay. In a race. I gotcha. The crows? Okay. Crows are gonna race. Give me more. Around the world. The whole world. It's gonna be great. Okay, I get it. But you said crows, right? Yeah, but these crows are different. Like crow. These crows are way better, way faster than normal crows. Plus, it's a Norse theme, like crows. Norse crows. And they don't have spears or bombs or magic, right? Like, totally different than what you think. They're not battling as they fly? Yeah. So crows. We're gonna put this really cool Viking Norse god looking guy on the cover with the spear, right? Yeah. But it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, no. It's just crows racing. This is the game, right? It's gonna be crows. Trust me, it's gonna be good. This is what you're talking about? Yeah, man, crows. I think you're getting it.
I think the end of that last segment should be the end of this one.
Let's hope not. All right. We got a snack crate here.
All right, what do we got?
I forgot what country it's from.
Okay, it'll let us know. Oh, the
like
UK and...
No, Hawaii. This is the snack crate from Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool.
All right, whatever.
Hawaii. Are we being sponsored by Snack Crate right now?
No, we're not.
Well, we need to get on the horn.
I
They
agree.
just got some free advertising.
All right, so we got candy beads.
Candy what?
Beads, man.
Rainbow belts. These look like those.
Yeah, but they're covered in like spices.
Does that look like those sour things, except it looks hot?
Yes. It looks like it's covered in paprika. I don't know. Let's hit it.
This is chocolate-covered macadamia nuts with Rice Crisp.
Oh, Kona Crunch.
Oh, these I've actually had before.
Really?
Yeah, these are good.
When was the last time you went to Hawaii?
I never have been to Hawaii.
They don't export these things.
What is
so
this?
how does this tie into board gaming, you might wonder? Because you can eat snacks when you board game. Okay, I need to know what these taste like.
Aloha
do you think these are...
Crack it open. Let's do
let me
it. We
read
all
the
got to
thing.
try it at the same
Sugar,
time.
corn syrup, apple juice from concentrate, sweetened sugar, water. It doesn't say nothing about...
Open it. I don't want to know there's corn syrup in it. Is it high fructose?
Yes, probably.
Wow,
Yeah.
this really does look like it's covered with
All right,
paprika.
here we go. Don't
have
eat it.
some.
Ow!
You got a little taste, didn't you?
No, I didn't,
It's
actually.
unfair. All right, here we go. We got to
Hold
do
on.
this right. We got to do it at
What
the
are these
same
called?
time.
These are called rainbow belts.
Here we go.
yeah.
Go. Hit it.
These are airheads.
You're an airhead.
Airhead ribbons. That's what these are.
What's the stuff on them though? It's like nothing.
It's sugar, baby.
Red
The
sugar.
dusting of kings.
Boring. Oh, it got better. It's getting better.
No, that's
Those sweet and sour ones are better than that, I think.
those are those Airhead ribbon thingies.
All right, it's time for
Sugar.
cookies. I'd like to point out, I don't think this is worth the price of one of these. But all right.
That's why you got to talk to
These
him.
are just like miniature cookies with the sprinkles on them.
Let's
Oh,
try
here we
it.
go. A grump master over here. Go.
Yep.
Ah, these are sugar cookies with sprinkles on them.
That's it. That is all that
But from Hawaii!
You can taste the luau a little bit.
is. With slightly more tan.
Is this all that came in the pack? What a ripoff.
Whoa. We don't know how much this costs, man.
Oh, someone's
Dude,
out
you
of this
paid
one.
for it.
You don't like chocolate.
This
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
chocolate covered macadamia nuts with Rice Crisp.
Oh.
I'll just smell this.
Would you like to break this in half?
No.
It's called Kona Crunch. And that is excellent.
These are hard.
That's the one good thing y'all had, and I didn't get to try it. You're supposed to say it's awful to it.
Oh, here, have some plum candy.
I will do that. Oh, it's hard candy though.
Yeah, maybe we should save it for the end. So we can,
Oh, what's that? Now your fingers are all over it.
you know what?
Can I lick the inside of the package?
I didn't touch the other side. Grab it and break it. Go!
Yes! Yes! I own the world! Okay,
That
Sam.
was rich.
Oh, that was some dough. That was good. This was the best thing in the box, the Kona
Look,
Crunch.
there's something in it that you never even knew about.
I knew about it when I saw you crack it open.
Oh. It smells like pineapple that's turned.
Do it.
Smell it.
The mint chocolate
Oh, yeah,
ice
it
cream
does smell
has
like-
turned. Oh. Son, what is that?
Is it that good?
I don't know yet.
are you
I'm
making a
scared.
mess?
Shut up.
Hey, who's gonna clean this table? All right, just to,
No, that's not good.
this is called Aloha.
Eat it.
Why did you? I don't have a drink anymore.
That ain't that bad.
Because your taste buds have been seared off by all the spicy
All right,
food
what
you
else we
eat.
got over here?
Hawaiian potato chips. Well, here's the thing. No, I think it tastes like almost a Pepperidge Farm cookie with pineapple.
Yeah, but the pineapple is like
It's expired.
Pineapples. This is good.
that's
good.
good. Put some,
Need something to cover up that.
put some more pineapple on that. That would be perfect.
All right. Well, this thing that we're talking about, the pineapple thing, Aloha Hawaii. It doesn't actually say what it is. Is there like a list of everything in here? No, here's fun facts about Hawaii. Okay, yeah. That was a Piaka pineapple shortbread. An authentically Hawaiian treat made of all native ingredients featuring real shortbread with a sweet shortbread with a real pineapple filling.
That's really old.
Slightly aged, yeah.
Wait, how comes I didn't get this teriyaki tuna jerky? Where's the box?
That's
I
the
ate
rainbow
that.
belts.
I didn't get no teriyaki jerky.
Was it this? No.
So we had Diamond Bakery candy bead, that was good. Lihang Mue drops, that's sweetheart candy with plums, with a pit of a real plum in the center. Wait, what?
So you wait a minute.
the
You
pit?
you extracted the pit of the plum and put candy around it, and that's that.
Yeah, but how do I know that some kid didn't eat? There's like kid
I
that
know,
like
right? It's like, here, kid.
Way to ruin that candy
There's
for
some
me,
kid
Tom.
in the factory just spitting pits into.
Lightly washing them.
Oh.
Go. Eat it.
Wait, how comes we didn't get those snacks in the box? I feel like we got gypped.
I was robbed. I was
What
robbed.
do you mean we?
Of course, if we had done the premium package, we would have got other things. And
Wait, you're rapping?
oh, this is gross. Pass it on. All right, that's our snack talk. I think we got some more contributors. Let's get to some more game stuff so people stop complaining.
This potato chip is a superhero.
Hi, I'm Jordan. This is Second Chance Shelf, where I take a look back at an older game and let you know why you might want to take it back off your shelf. Today we're going to look at Eminent Domain by Seth Jaffe and Tasty Minstrel Games. This was an early entry in the deck building craze a number of years ago. I believe it was also an early Kickstarter game as well. So let's look at a couple things in the box that I think are interesting. The core of Eminent Domain is found in the double use cards. Every card can be used as an action or as a roll. If you want to use it as an action, simply play the card and follow the directions that were printed on it, such as draw one fighter. If you want to use it as a roll, draw a card from the middle of the table and add it to the other cards in your hand that have the same symbol. For instance, if I want to do the warfare roll, I can boost it with all these red symbols, and this would allow me to draw 4 fighters instead of the 1 that I would have been able to do with the action. Then, going around the table, each player has the opportunity to play cards with that same roll symbol from their hand to also take the roll. This is very similar to actions in Puerto Rico and Race for the Galaxy, where you can do the same action as the person whose turn it is. This lowers downtime and keeps all players involved on each other's turns. Well, there's a quick look at Eminent Domain. There's a lot more to the game, but that was just kind of a core couple mechanics that I think are interesting that I wanted to highlight. This is a game that I had for a while and then ended up getting rid of. And ever since I got rid of it, I really regretted it and needed to get myself a copy. So I recently picked up this game used at my game store. Have you guys ever gotten rid of a game and then picked up a new copy later because you regretted getting rid of it? You should talk about that in the comments. I think that'd be really cool to hear about. But yeah, that's all I got. Happy breakfast.
Have you played The Quacks of the Quadrumbe? I'll share what I think about it briefly coming up. Hi, it's Stella from Imperial University. If you haven't had the game Quacks, it is currently one of the hottest games, won a few awards, including 2018 Kennerspiel des Jahres winner. These push your luck pool building games play pretty quickly, about 45 minutes, plays 2 to 4 players. This is probably one of the best push your luck game I've ever tried. It is light, has great catch-up mechanics that means the outcome is always in balance until the end, which is nice for a lighter game. It has great replayability with different sets of books you can use each game. Different sides of player boards that you can use as well that give you more replayability. It is a great filler game between heavier games, plays with almost all group of gamers, great to play with families. The only thing that bothers me only just a little bit is the bag. Drawing the chips out of the bag is a little bit fiddly. Sometimes some of the chips stuck on the corner of the bag. I think this is because the bag's material, it is a bit t-shirt-like or a bit stretchy, so sometimes it is a bit hard to take it out. To add even more replayability, there are event cards coming out each round. It's different, it's giving different good things usually to players, although it could be a little bit imbalanced, but I still really like it. You can also see the artwork is really gorgeous. I really love how the color pops out. If you like to watch a little bit of the rule summary and a review of Quacks, we have done a brief overview and review in our channel recently, so check that out if you're interested. So thanks for watching. If you enjoy my segment, please consider checking Meeple University on YouTube. On our channel, we do a lot of overview, how to play, playthrough, review, and vlog. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Doug Jr. Welcome to a Fellowship of Meeples. So today I just want to give you a quick tip to help your gaming group be the best it can be. And one thing that we've done, and I know many others have done, is to do a top 10 list of things that irritate you when you're playing a game. I want to talk about some of these, but from a little different angle, because what if the problem is you? Let's talk about some of these things, starting with number 1, which is AP, otherwise known as analysis paralysis. And that is when you take forever to make your decisions. You take forever to make your turn. You're going through every possibility in your mind, and it just takes so long that people are getting frustrated. There are some things I want to give you that might help you to get rid of those tendencies. Tip number 1, admit that you have AP. Now, this sounds like a 12-step program, but actually it is the first step in helping to get rid of the AP in your life, because if you don't admit that you have AP, then you don't know you need to get rid of it, right? Tip number 2, if you do tend to have AP, then when you take your turn and it's the next person's turn, pay close attention. Start planning your strategy. Now, is your strategy going to have to change based on what they do? Probably will. But as it goes around the table and it comes back to you, by the time it gets back, you should have a direction at least of what you want to accomplish, and you should have been able to make a few adjustments in your mind along the way. And finally, tip number 3, if you find yourself having these AP tendencies, you need to just do it. This is a game. We're playing to have fun. Instead of second guessing yourself all the time, if you'll go with your initial instincts, you'll probably have as high a success rate as if you sit there and think for a long time. So join us again next time, and we're going to discuss some more of these problems that we might have that is bringing down our gaming group, because we want to have the most fun possible. Until then, I'm Doug Jr. Douglas III will be here next time, and we'll see you then on a Fellowship of Meeples. Have a great breakfast.
All right, everybody. So Tom is right now experiencing one of these.
How's the plum candy there, buddy?
It's like a sweet. I touched. It's so bad. It's like there's like sweet, and then there's like a salt salty when I touch the plum thing. Why would I want that?
That's other people's saliva. Yeah.
Oh man, no, we gotta go, y'all.
This is.
Signing off. You want to do it? Can
Why
you
am I
do
eating
it?
this for breakfast?
I'm not eating this.
That's negative.
Not going to do
Boo.
it.
Next time I'm Tom Vassal. Oh, this is bad.
I'm Z Garcia. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll see you a little bit later today.
And I am Sam Healy. See you on crowd surfing.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vassal and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production, sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., an amazing place to buy board games. Cool stuff, in stock, at CoolStuffInc.com.